All right, we're here. I am 11 minutes late. Sorry. Long day at the shop. Been long days at the shop. Long days at the shop. I think Wednesday I was here from 11 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock at night. So it's an 11-hour day. And then I brought work upstairs and did some more work while I was, before I got ready for bed. So I'm going to assume people are coming on board here. Here we go. Hi, Nicoletta. Oh my God, look at you. Because she's back in America. Yay. So happy. Hi. Back home where she belongs. Well, she is my very European friend. She still belongs here in New York. Oh my goodness. All righty. Hey, Sam. All right, let me just see if I can get this so I like it a little better. Okay, okay. All right. Hi, Janice. All right. Kashana, hi. All right, this week and all that it entails and everything that's going on. I'm going to start talking. This retrograde. Really want to talk a little bit about the retrograde in that, retrogrades, Mercury retrograde, I should say, all the planets go into retrograde periodically. But Mercury retrograde happens 3 times a year. The way we talk about it, it would seem like it's happening every other month, and it just doesn't. This year, in 2020, it's going to be in retrograde, started in February the 17th. It's going to go through March the 10th. And then we have a shadow period of roughly 10 days before and after, where we still feel the effects. So it ends March 10th, plus the shadow. Then we go again June 18th through July the 12th. That's going to be in Cancer. And we're going to have October the 14th through November the 3rd in Libra. So we have 3 retrogrades, basically starting in February, June, and October. And the Mercury retrograde is an optical illusion. Nothing's going in reverse. It just looks that way. Kind of like when a car is passing another car, you're passing it, but it looks like the other car is going reverse. It's not. So it has to do with the Earth's rotation around Mercury, and it just looks like Mercury is moving backwards those 3 times during the year. And of course, each retrograde has its own energy based on the planet and its ruling energy, and where it's falling in your chart. So wherever your Pisces is, whatever house is ruled by Pisces, this is where the energy of the retrograde is hitting you most distinctly. This Pisces retrograde has to do with blurred thinking. Yay! Oh, hi, Lauren. I think Lauren, oh my gosh, I can't, really can't read. Log in. Anyway, blurred thinking, yeah. I'm illustrating the point right now. Communication off, delusional people, irrationality, impatience, mental illness, sadness, all the stuff that Neptune has to offer. Creativity, certainly on the upswing. That's a positive. Neptune rules creativity and imagination. So if you're writing, especially if you're writing fiction, if you're creating art and you're pulling from those reserves of creativity, fantastic. That's what you should be doing. But if you're trying to just get through your day to day, okay, it's not that pleasant. I'm going to say again too, and I said it last week, please. This is not the time to jump to conclusions. This is not the time to make mistakes. This is not the time to take a chance. Don't run the red light. Don't cheat. Don't think you're going to get away with it this time. This is when you won't get away with it. And the readings, again, people walking in crying. They're walking into the store crying. It's not pleasant, and it's heavy. It's a heavy energy. It's hard to get out from under it. It feels like you're walking through water or tar, depending on the day. Hey, Francine, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm looking. My ADD is going to be kicking in. Awful. Hey, Deb. All right. So, could someone do me a favor? If there's people watching who don't know how to comment, they're private messaging me and saying, I watch you, but I don't know how to get my comments on there. Could someone just make in the comments how you get on to comment? I was trying to remember how I do, because I comment on other people's videos. I watch videos all the time. And so how do you get on to comment? All right. Just for the people who are watching who don't know how to get on that feed, that scroll there. There is a radio show, when I'm driving my son to school in the morning, because I'm up every day at 6 o'clock in the morning. You wouldn't think I'd be running as late as I am, that I get up as early as I do. But anyway, I'm up early every day. And just so I can be late opening the store. And there's a radio show, and they do this thing periodically called War of the Roses. And I don't know if you guys have seen it. I'm sure some of you have seen it or heard it, rather. And people who think that they're being cheated on call in, and they fake this big pretend winning, where one of the disc jockeys will call and say, hey, you won these roses. We're a florist. We're new in town, and we're gifting people with a dozen roses just to get our name out there. You don't have to do anything. It's not going to cost you anything. We will send a dozen roses to whomever you want them to go to. And the thing is, who are we going to send roses to? And the idea is you're going to entrap somebody on the radio where everyone's listening, and very often, it's going out to a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whomever. And, there's a big scene on the radio. But every now and then, and I really don't like the show for this reason, they get it wrong. And the person says, well, of course, I want to send the flowers to my wife. She's having a terrible time right now, and we've been having a rough patch. And then it gets awkward, because then it's like, oh, your wife's on the other line right now. This is a little game we play called War of the Roses. And it never ends well. I've listened to a couple of times where, really, you thought this? Okay. And a few times people literally broke up on the radio, and the disc jockey, is like, oh, people make mistakes. Don't jump. People jump to conclusions, and it's like, yeah, way to save that, because with me, once you accuse me of something that I haven't done, oh, I'm so gonna do it. I am so gonna do it. I'm gonna sing a song, do a little dance, maybe have puppets to illustrate. I am so gonna do that thing. That's just my nature. I always take the high road. I love the high road. But if you accuse me of the low road, you're about to be really upset by just how low the low road goes. Goes low. Not going to be good. We are so breaking up. Anyway, retrograde. So I listened to and talked to 3 astrologers, basically. I have honed it down to 3. Obviously, Alethea, who writes in my newsletter every month. I love her. She does have her own newsletter, her own blog site. She does do private readings. She's an old school astrologer. Everything's done by hand. So she's wonderful. When Daisy was very, very sick a few years ago, then it lasted years. She had a very sick child. She showed up at my door. Actually showed up at the door, and she was in the neighborhood, but she doesn't live nearby. She lives in another part of Connecticut, just to show me Daisy's chart and where, in fact, she wouldn't be struggling like this all her life, and where it was going to turn the corner. And yes, that's what astrology is really great for. And likewise, Elsa of elsa.com, another good friend, love her site. If you want to learn about astrology, you do want to sign up for her newsletter. Excuse me, it comes every day. There's interesting blogs. She's the longest blogging astrologer in the country. Her amount of material on her site's amazing, and it's really neatly arranged. So let's say you had a question about Chiron or 8th house or Pisces sun or whatever. She's got it all arranged. You click and all the blogs, all the material comes up, and it's just really interesting reading, very accurate reading. And she also does private reading. She also got me through a hard time with another one of my kids. The two big crises of the years I've had kids. And Alicia got me through one, and Elsa the other, and actually nailed when it would stop, when that crisis would be over. I really, really have to give it to both those astrologers. Elsa also does private readings. She does them over the phone. You can do the Skype thing, or you can do it and have it written out, which is what I opted for. So there's that. The other astrologer that everyone knows I love is Steve Judd on YouTube. I am one of his biggest fans. I really have to get a reading with Steve Judd. And he's amazing. His ability, and in Western astrology is not known for its predictive qualities. And that's Vedic. Vedic astrology, if a good Vedic astrologer could tell you the day you're going to die. Seriously. That's how keen Vedic is. And how to the decan. I mean, it's very precise. I'm a Western, and so is Steve, and so is Elsa, and so is Alethea. And Steve has a amazing knack with mundane astrology, the astrology of the world. So in all the years I've been listening to him, the two times that he sounded an alarm for an international crisis and once for what he thought was going to be a really awful Earth event, both very accurate, both happened the weekend he predicted. Really amazing. But no one's right all the time. Okay, no one's right all the time. And so I want to recommend that you go on YouTube and you watch Steve Judd, his March 2020 overview, where he does eat crow, because he had said that, he said, if you listen to my January 2020 overview, I make it very clear that I believe that January is going to be the worst month of the year, and it's smooth sailing after that. And he goes, I don't know why I said that. Looking at what's ahead, what we're dealing with now, he said, nothing could be further from the truth. Now, when I repeated it, because I did repeat it, that it didn't sound accurate, because I knew some of the stuff that was happening this year. And I thought, no, I don't know. Saturn is still really weighing in heavy. There's the conjunction. There's Pluto playing some nasty games towards destruction, towards endings, powerful stuff. And no, it's not. In fact, I have to tell you that, I hate to tell you, but the first 2 weeks of March, the energy we're having right now, are probably the high points of March. The third and fourth week of March are just dreadful. Mars and Pluto are going at it vindictively. Awful stuff. Just and then we have dear God, I wrote it down. I was reading this and looking at it and going, what the hell? So Saturn is moving into Aquarius the end of March. And you think, yay! I mean, because Aquarius and Saturn was the natural ruler of Aquarius before Uranus was discovered. So Saturn likes being Aquarius. It's very comfortable. Was comfortable in Capricorn, and then moving into Aquarius, freedom loving, free thinking, love your brother, home of brotherly love, the house of work by committee and friendship and teamwork. I mean, that's the house. That's what the Aquarius rules. Okay, thinking that's going to be awesome. Except Aquarius is also the sign of the rebel, of the revolutionary. Revolutions are usually not fun. They're not usually gentle. They're usually bloody and violent, and Aquarius is right there on cheering on, fist in the air, pumping, saying, yeah, you go, tear it down. All right. And then you got Saturn going, fuck yeah. Hell yeah, we're going to tear it down. Now, Pluto is going to stay in Saturn quite a while longer. It's been in Saturn since 2008. Pluto moves very slow through planets. But anyway, Saturn's only going to be in Aquarius 3 months. And then in May 11th, actually, it goes retrograde back into Capricorn, okay, where it stays until September. I think September, I don't have the date. Ugh, we're gonna be wanting the date on this one. Because here's the thing. When Saturn goes retrograde into Capricorn, it's excruciating. Because now it's going slowly back and through Capricorn. So it's all the stuff we've been living with for the past 2.5 years, slower, more excruciating. It's like getting really bad news and someone's talking very slow. So, you got cancer. It's not good. It's like, oh, cut to the chase, please. But it's not going to. It's going to be slow, drawn out, and we're seeing it. It's like, what's next? Well, what's next? With the Boy Scouts, I mean, and every time I talk, every time I get on Friday Night Video, it's what else has fallen. So we had the diocese that just went bankrupt. Boy Scouts, they're done. There's an institution gone. Every day it's something new, someone new, and the people with the pedophilia. These are like leaders of organizations that we're working with families, and well, obviously sharks swim where the little fishes are. That's where they feed. So of course, these are the groups that are being exposed with this nightmare, this disgusting scum of humanity. And it just keeps coming. The hits keep coming. And now we have the coronavirus. So I'm getting phone calls about the coronavirus. And just today I got a call from a nurse out of state asking what I thought. She was full-blown preparing for a month of, now she's caring for an elderly mother, so that would make sense. Elderly people are at risk, babies, your children, anyone with impaired breathing at risk. But looking at it, and again, Steve Judd did a really good video on that as well. His video on Global March 2020, his video on the coronavirus, and he's got a Mercury retrograde and news video. So there's 3 videos. His videos roughly run between 10 and 15 minutes long. 15 is a long video for Steve. Those 3 I highly recommend that you watch. Okay, just for good astrology and a really good overview from someone in England. So it's out of this country. So it's an interesting perspective that we don't always hear from American astrologers or broadcasters or what have you. The coronavirus, some highlights. Where it really, I'm not worried about it in terms of the health so much. Maybe I'm ignorant, maybe I'm being naive, but I'm not. Of course, I'm gonna take preparations. Of course, I'm gonna take precautions rather. But where it's devastating, China's been shut down now for a month. There's already reports that Christmas goods are already projected shortages. So the world economics are being just completely devastated. All right. Cruise ships, the whole industry is probably going to bottom out because nobody's going to be on a cruise ship at this point. So I think you're just going to see that whole industry just, and that's something that Steve, I don't want to claim that for my own, Steve Judd talked about that. I looked into it and I have to agree. So we're going to see some big industries again showing their weaknesses, showing their frailties. And we know that the Dow just tumbled, one of its biggest tumbles ever, I think, yesterday. Again, being driven by the coronavirus. But I don't feel that it's going to be a pandemic. I don't think it's going to work its way into a pandemic or anything near a pandemic, frankly. So that's not a good reason not to stock up, have water, have dry goods in your home, get yourself some canned goods just in case. Japan I think it was yesterday that Japan closed all their public schools to try and control it. And I'm not pretending that it's not serious. I just don't see it being a global pandemic. I don't think it's the big eliminator of humanity that many people are waiting for. I don't think this is going to be it. It does feel very contrived. I'm not going to lie. It feels very contrived. It feels like it was released as opposed to escaped. And it feels like it was timed. I'm just going to say it. That's how it feels to me. I don't have a huge trust of our government. I don't have a huge trust of the Chinese government. And yeah, I think it actually did a very good job of getting protesters off the street of China, didn't it now? And all the world was looking at China and these protesters, and wow, that virus just cleared that right up, just perfectly. So yes, I think it was timed, and maybe it got away from people a little bit, as viruses are prone to do. So let's see. May 11th. Oh boy. Hey, Kaylee. Hi, Peggy. There's Marie. Login function. Okay, Francine. Okay. All right. So that's what's going on. I stay calm. Watch the videos. I'm not going to repeat something that's already on a video that I cannot say better than Steve Judd could say himself. But March, the last 2 weeks of March, and I guess the full moon in Libra in October. There's a span of time there, but the last 2 weeks of March, full moon, that week or two in October, both not good, and it has to do with Pluto and Mars and not playing nicely together. And what do you expect when the planet of death meets the planet of war? What do you expect? You know, or really the god of death and the afterlife and the god of war. When they get together and they go head to head, it ain't gonna be nice. They don't play nicely together. So, hi, Debia. Hey, Marie. So I'm shuffling cards, and I thought, how apropos. Why the hell is this happening? It's a 5-card spread. Starts with card 1, which is the crappy situation. What you can do about it, what you can't do about it, what's the lesson behind it, and how is it going to turn out? One of my more positive, uplifting spreads, but it seemed apropos. Tomorrow is our fair here at the shop. We have Gary and Sherry. Gary, who reads with Lenormand cards. I never say that right. Lenormand cards. Those were the cards that the reader of Josephine Bonaparte, they're French, and those were his cards he read her reader read to her with. They've been around for a long time. And then Gary also does bone casting, which take upwards of an hour. It can take a full hour, usually about 45 minutes on average. And so there's an extra charge for that because it goes longer. It's more involved. He speaks Spanish. He's my only Spanish-speaking reader. And then I have Sherry, who does tarot, mediumship if somebody comes through. And she does, her spread is in the wheel of the astrological wheel. So she hits every area of life, all 12 houses. It's a very cool spread. It's a very, very good overview reading. So those are my 2 readers here tomorrow from 12 to 6. And it's been busy. It's been really good. Okay, and I am too tired to even try to go backwards. I'm beat. So we're gonna start with Aries. Ugh. All right, Aries. The crappy situation. Card 1, the Fool reversed, stuck in place. Or taking a second look at a decision, honestly. Sometimes the Fool reversed is, and how appropriate actually in a Mercury retrograde that you would review, that you would relook at a decision. But there you are, not jumping off the cliff, but not moving either. What you can do about it? Knight of Wands. Well, the Knights bring in creativity, and I'm just going to say with what you can do about it would probably be to step away from the situation that's vexing you and move on to something different, which doesn't take an Aries much to do that. They usually have 10 projects going at once, but this would be more creative. So if the problem is very cerebral, get creative. Step away, do something fun, art project, whatever, so that you're not fixated on the bigger issue while it's percolating. What you can't do about it, the Hermit reversed. Let's push everybody away and not let anybody help you. Now that they're saying don't do that, okay? Because that's another direction you could go in. I can't go anywhere as I'm miserable. I can't get an answer. It's not happening. Get the hell away from me. Let me just be left alone. And the cards are saying that's not a good idea. Okay? You can do it, but you probably shouldn't. The lesson behind this, the Nine of Swords reversed. And interestingly, it's almost like the coronavirus. Looks really awful, sounds really awful, but as opposed to being a disaster, maybe it's just anxiety. We should be concerned, but I don't think we need to prepare for the end of the world just yet. So I'm going to say, in this respect, the lesson is don't make a mountain out of molehill. Put it in perspective. Okay, that's the lesson. Put it in perspective. Step away from the problem. Just let it percolate. Let it just gel for a few minutes before you go back to it. Stop picking at it. And how's it going to work out? Three of Cups reversed. Well, it ain't going to be a party. It's not going to be something to celebrate over. I'm just going to throw one more card here. Seven of Swords reversed. It has you pretty much not moving. Has you not able to move forward. I don't think that you're going to get off your mark anytime soon. Doesn't mean you should ignore it or not deal with it, but you may want to just set this aside and work on something else for a while. All right? This may not be something, and the one thing about your Aries is they're not known for their patience. I love you guys, but you're not known for your patience and your ability to just let something lie. Don't just let it lie. It's not, but you can't, but also don't forget about it. It's not gone forever. It's just gone for right now. It's not going to happen today. Maybe get through the retrograde. How's that? And then look at it. I don't know. But it may be, and also it just may not move as fast as you want it to. You may be wanting answers right away, and it's going to be like, yeah, we'll get back to you. All right? Taurus. The crappy situation, which isn't so crappy, it's the Nine of Pentacles. That's financial rewards for hard work. That's things paying off. Why would that be a crappy situation? Well, because it looks as though the time that you're spending hard work, the Four of Wands reverse. I'm going to say at home, maybe you need to be there. Maybe your attention is not being placed where it needs to be. Working, but things are falling apart at home. What you can't do about it is just relax and pretend it's not gonna resolve itself. The Four of Swords, it's saying no, don't just sleep on it. This isn't something that you should ignore. Okay. The lesson behind all this, the Knight of Pentacles reversed. And I gotta say, we all struggle with this, especially if you have a small business, or especially if you're sales driven. Like in December is all about Stop. I mean, we're busy. September's crazy, making our year-end numbers. This is the wrong time for a crisis at home. The Knight of Pentacles reverse is telling you, you know what, there's things you can delay, put off for tomorrow. You don't have to do everything right now. And money isn't everything. Okay, that sounds trite, but it's not everything. So how's it going to turn out? The High Priestess. Well, it's going to turn out better than you think in ways you can't imagine. This is deeper than you thought. And it really is about breaking bad habits. And I'm going to say it's about breaking bad work habits and your priorities. So that's what I'm seeing is it's about prioritizing work and home. Why is it happening? Because those are off balance. And I feel bad, especially I feel bad for working moms because they gotta work. And you've got a kid that doesn't want to go to school, or you've got a kid, and it's awful. I don't know any working mom who isn't in that hasn't been in that position of, when you're at work, you need to be home. When you're home, you need to be at work. It doesn't let up. There's plenty of good dads out there dealing with it too. Don't get me wrong. But you want to spend weekends with your kids, and you got boss giving you work projects and stuff. It's not very easy. All right, Gemini. Let me see who else is out there now. Hi, Allie. Oh, it's talk about in the beginning of the show, but it's why the hell is this happening? It's a 5-card spread. Okay. So Gemini. Crappy situation is the Emperor, upright. Why is that a crappy situation? Well, because you're tired of helping everybody. The 6 of Pentacles reversed. You're tired of being the one who disperses advice and comforts and money and your time, and you're tired of it. What you can't do about it, the Hangman reversed, being a martyr. They're saying don't be a martyr. The Hangman reverse is the doormat, martyr. They don't appreciate me, but I can't stop giving. I know lots of men out there who are supporting kids up in their 20s because they can't get a job, or they won't. What kind of sweet ride is that? You're going to pay for my phone and my car, and I can live at home and not buy food? Why would I move out, right? So there's that. What's the lesson behind all this? 5 of Cups, regret. Lesson is to look at the bigger picture. And Gemini, if you've been the Santa Claus, so to speak, if you've been the rainmaker, if you've been the head of the game here, maybe you look at the bigger picture and look at what you've created. So it looks like you've created some monsters that don't know how to take care of themselves. Okay. And how's it going to turn out? Oh, the wheel. It's going to move forward. And it's going to turn out just fine. Move forward. It's okay to, it's all about timing. And it's a little bit like feeding birds in winter. You start feeding birds, you got to finish through the winter. And in the spring, you stop filling the feeders when they can find food on their own. I would not stop helping a kid out who maybe got sick, got in a bad car accident, that wasn't their fault, in fact, in the middle of a crisis. That's not when you sit there and say, oh, by the way, I'm done helping you. That's shitty, But at some point, you get them back on their feet and say, okay, you know what? This is you now. Like riding a bike and you let go of the bike. Okay, this is you now. Now you're riding the bike. You're doing this. You're steering it. And there comes a point where, the birds leave the nest. So this really has to do with Gemini feeling like, man, everyone, it's like tick on a dog, basically. It's like, get off me. And realizing that some of this was enabled and you want to move on, and you're going to. Okay, move on. Cancer. Okay. Cancer, the crappy situation. The 10 of Pentacles reversed. Well, 10 of Pentacles reversed is usually real estate related, money in real estate. Maybe you need to do work to a home that the money isn't there to do it. Maybe not able to sell the house, the money you want to sell it, or buy it at a price that you want to buy, or you can't afford a move that you want to make. All of that, it's reversed. So the situation has to do with money and real estate. Maybe you want to work out of the house or work remote, and that's unavailable to you, making money out of the house, but it's reversed. What can you do about it? Well, judgment reversed. You got a new plan. It's saying if this is not going to work, time for a new plan. If you're under contract, maybe time to look for a new contract. Maybe time to write a new contract. Maybe time to write a new timeline. Maybe you can't get the house ready to get on the market for the spring. The market starts in March, and we had a very mild winter here in Connecticut, and so it's going to start early, you know. But maybe you're not ready yet. Maybe the house isn't ready yet. What you can't do about it, Knight of Swords reversed. You don't get to stop. You might be stalling, but you can't stop. Knight of Swords reversed is saying it's you know, you're not going to be able to ignore it and make it go away. Okay. The lesson behind all this, the King of Cups reversed. Oh boy. King of Cups reversed is usually a man who's anxious, depressed. Cups are emotions. Someone who's not expressing their emotions correctly. Someone who is impatient. It also can be a male alcoholic, someone who's engaging in toxic behavior, delusional behavior. If you were counting on someone else to get you out of this, it looks like it's all you. Okay, this other person is not capable. There's not the time or the ability to do what needs to be done. It's on you, Cancer, and you're not going to be able to offset the load on someone else. And how's it going to work out? King of Swords, very militant, very organized, no emotions. You know, the King of Swords is that person. Just the facts. Here's how it has to be, and that's how it's to be presented. Cancer is a very emotional sign. Cancer's a water sign. They need emotion. They need to feel needed and loved and respected and wanted and appreciated. And home is everything to Cancer, and childhood memories. And this is something that there's no time for any of that. This is just the facts. Here's what we're doing, moving it forward, and there it is. Okay? So Cancer, it's a home issue that needs to be handled professionally, not emotionally. Take the emotions out of it. It's just a house. I know. It was a home. But it's like when you're buying a house, it's just a house. Okay, the memories can come with you. It's a house. What is going on up here? Am I a Christian lady? I am not Christian. I'm not sure. Hey, Faith. Hey, Cheryl. Yeah, that was the question. That's the question. No, I'm not. I'm pagan. I'm actually a witch, practicing witch over 30 years. So if you're a practicing Christian, astrology and tarot reading, probably not for you, Mr. Ahmad, and you might want to not be here. It may not be right for you to be here. I don't want anyone to be sinning or led astray on my behalf. Okay, so disclaimer. All right, Leo, what's going on for you? situation, Page of Cups. This is about, honestly, it looks to be about children or a child. Page of Cups. Happy, emotional, artistic, musical, the emotional component to a child. What you can do about it, what's going on. I'm not sure why so there's an issue with the child, and what you can do about it. Well, the Seven of Wands has it stressful and has the situation very confrontational. What you can't do about it, the Eight of Pentacles, you can't avoid it by staying at work or staying away. You're going to have to deal with what's going on in the house. And it looks like this confrontation with the child around the home. The lesson behind it, Chariot. Okay. And I get this, because I'm a mother of 4. And one mistake with my kids that I didn't make, and everyone parents where they're going to parent, I always say, when you have kids, you just bought yourself the biggest piece of glass house real estate, okay? And when you have a glass house, you never throw stones. You never talk about someone else's parenting because you don't know, all right? And you never talk about someone else's kid because you don't know. And man, you want to talk about the kid who, got caught selling weed at school. Your kid might wind up in a crack house. You don't know. Go to college and become an addict. That happens. You want to talk about the girl who got pregnant, and had to have an abortion. Well, your kid might be on the cover of Girls Gone Wild video on college break, lifting up her shirt, and you don't know. You don't know. So don't judge other people's kids. Don't point out other kids' mistakes and mishaps. Be grateful if yours don't go down that path. But never say never. Telling you, the best parents in the world are people with no children. Once you get children, you get humble fast. All those nevers, never going to happen, never going to allow it. Sure, you pick your battles. But to get back to this reading, you pick your battles. You can fight and argue, or you can move past it. Sorry you feel that way. I'm still your mother. This is how it's going to be in my home. Let's move on. Okay? We're not playing that way. Children can be terrorists. They really can. They can be little terrorists when they want to be. And when they're spoiled, they really become terrorists. They become extortionists. They'll embarrass you in public. They'll do whatever it takes to get what they want, unless you nip it in the bud. My opinion, but how I raised my kids. And here it's like, sorry you feel that way. Appreciate your opinion. Glad you told me, but we're moving on. We're not going to negotiate that. This is what we're working with here. And how's it going to turn out? Page of Swords. I'm going to say it turns into a better communicative parent-child relationship. But remembering that you are the parent and this is the child. The roles have to stay the way they are. Parents parent. You make the rules. When they leave your home, they can make up their own rules. They can do what they want to do, but it's up to you to not only make the rules but enforce the rules. So I'm going to say with Leo, maybe you're having an issue with a kid. Maybe there's some pushback happens. It's happening a lot, actually. Again, this energy with the delusional behavior and all the big balls and all the talk, and squash it. Sorry, I hear you. I'm listening to you. We can talk, but this isn't going to change this. This is what I believe is what we're going to do. And I tell kids all the time too at the shop. They get mad because their parents won't wear a pentacle or they can't. I'm like, that's their rule. It's their home. And while you're living in your parents' home, you respect their rules. Rest assured, when your kids come to me, I'm never disrespecting you. I'm never disrespecting parents. I hear some sad stories. There are some parents out there who should be ashamed of themselves. Some of the stuff I hear is just really shocking and sad. If you're kicking your kid out of the house for coming out to you, or that's a shame. It's a shame you're doing that. But again, your house, your rules. Man, you just made your kid's life really tough. But, in general, talking to kids, I'm like, well, then that's the way your parents feel. They don't want you doing this, and you don't do it. They don't want you having an altar in the house, so you don't have an altar in the house. Go out in the woods, do something outside, but don't bring that home. They don't want it under their roof, and they have every right to say no. All right, so Virgo. The crappy situation is the Three of Pentacles. Again, you wouldn't think that was a crappy situation because the Three of Pentacles is making money, doing what you do, speaks to success. Often it's teaching what you know. So what's going on with this? Well, Five of Pentacles reversed, which is looks like, yes, you're working very hard, but you're pulling yourself out of a financial hole. So, Five of Pentacles reversed, which is looks like, yes, you're working very hard, but you're pulling yourself out of a financial hole. So you need to do it. You need to earn this money. And it looks like there's pressure on you too, because you are a leader of some sorts. You're teaching in some capacity. So yeah, you do need to work hard. What you can't do about it, Seven of Cups. You can't romanticize it. This is no time to give yourself a break, and you might need one because it looks like you're coming out of a bad situation. So you might be ready to take a break, a well-earned break. Maybe have a couple drinks, maybe let off some steam. And these cards are saying no. And I'm going to say energetically, no. Like I said, this is no time to make a mistake. This is no time to have that extra glass of wine. This is no time, to be less than professional at any point in time. You don't want to be out in public and have someone from work see you acting foolishly, not in control, not able to speak clearly because you had one too many. Cards are saying, nope, nose the grindstone, Virgo. Don't let up. Lesson behind this, Six of Swords reversed. Oh, Virgo, Six of Swords reversed. Wondering if Virgo either is regretting a trip or maybe feeling a little homesick or fighting the urge to run. And the lesson really is stay and finish it through. But it's something about the urge to leave home that may or may not be working out for you at the moment. How's it going to turn out? Ace of Swords. It's going to turn out great, victorious, and wonderful. Powerful communication, doing what you need to do, leader. But you may have bit off more than you could chew or felt like you did at one point. And the lesson is really thinking about that a little bit. Did you need to do all that? Did you need to go quite so extra? And maybe you did. Virgo. It was like one of those go big or go home moments, only you can't go home. You just have to go big. There's no other choice for Virgo but to go big. There is no going home. All right. There we go with that. Ooh, Nicoletta, you're right about that. Okay. I didn't even think about that. All right, so we are looking at Libra. Libra. Okay. The crappy situation is Justice. Great card because Archangel Michael. Okay. How could Justice be a crappy situation? Well, because it has you juggling money. That's why. Two of Pentacles reversed. So it's kind of like, the best way I could look at this is like you get the divorce you wanted, which is great. You know, you got out of a bad situation, and yet where are you? Well, you're juggling money now. Now you know it's made it a little harder for you financially. So it's like when it's one of those double sides of justice. You know, on one hand you got this, but on the other hand, you know, what you can't do about it is the Magician. No, there's no magic tricks here. This is all about hard work. The Hierophant. It's really about no smoke and mirrors. This is just all about, again, almost like being in a rut. Hierophant has you just staying the course. Possibly working in an industry, working in as part of a institution. For example, if you're a caregiver, as opposed to working for an elderly couple, maybe again, here's a great example. So you're married and you are a caregiver, so you take jobs here and there per diem, working one-on-one with clients. You get divorced, now all of a sudden you need to get a regular paycheck, benefits. So no, you can't do per diem. No, you can't pick and pack and get your private clients by hand picking who you have. You probably need to work in a nursing home or a hospital or institution where those things will be accessible to you. That's what I'm talking about. So you may not be able to be quite so independent, because the Tower is here, which is saying this is chaotic. And so the lesson is to get real, get serious, and be part of a bigger group. This isn't the time to be independent. This isn't the time to try to go off on your own to do something artistically, maybe. You need if you already are working in, you're gonna want to stay in that job. This is no time to think, oh, this would be a great time to be independent. This would be a great time to go on my own. This is a great time to launch my business. Don't put the brakes on that. Okay, this may not be the best time right now, as the Dow keeps tumbling, as we're looking at the impact globally, economically of the coronavirus. As I talked about earlier. Oh, it's dry in here. Electric heat. Okay, so while things are crashing and burning around you, get serious and get or stay with the program. Okay, there's no time to decide you're gonna take off and follow the Rolling Stones on their next world tour. This is not the time for that. Stay serious. Okay, Scorpio. Scorpio. At this point, I just want to skip Scorpio. Every month, every week, I just want to skip them. And I know you guys are tough. You can handle it, but man, there was like a brief shining period where like Scorpio's cards were so good, like Leo's continue to be. It's just a shining moment, and then it's just like, wow, it went back downhill fast. Crappy situation. The Three of Swords, heartbreak, emotional pain. What are you not able to do about it? You're not being supported. So it's pretty much just you. It's all you, Scorp. Two of Wands reverse is usually support at work, but what you can't do about it, Queen of Cups reverse. Cards are saying don't over emotionalize it. Don't sink into a depression. Don't let it destroy you. you know, and the Queen of Cups reversed again is mental health, cups for emotions, emotional health, I should say. But it could also be self-destructive, self-loathing, feeling like a doormat, feeling you're being used, feeling the sucker. Queen of Cups reversed is often someone who's been used, female that feels they're used. Lesson behind this, King of Pentacles. And the way it's going to turn out, the Empress. Well, the King of Pentacles and the Empress pair beautifully. You know, we're talking about money and autonomy, money and rulership, you know, king and a queen. Talking about the matriarch. And there's some aspect of the King of Pentacles, letting the man bring home some money or letting the man handle some of this financially. It's just devastating right now. I can't get around it. Whatever you're dealing with, Scorpio, it's devastating. And don't lose yourself in it. This is just, remember who you are, and it'd be really easy to just fall apart right now. Ten of Swords, like everything is just weighing you down. You're not feeling supported. You're not feeling appreciated. Queen, like I said, but we got the King of Pentacles and the Empress here. So it's either time to reach out to parental figures if you're a younger Scorpio, or through partnership if you're a mature Scorpio, letting your partner, remember that you've got a partner here. That you know, you may not be supported at work, but you should be supported at home. And it looks like it's somebody who wants to support you at home. Let them. But I'm not going to pretend that those are easy cards. They're just not easy cards. It's just all about your own autonomy. And I guess looking at the cards, while it's heartbreaking and while it's sad, I don't feel that you're responsible. As the Empress, it looks as it's not Empress reversed where you weren't responsible, or that you didn't want to have responsibility. That's the Emperor and the Emperor reversed. The father or the mother that didn't want to be responsible, who are out of their power, who aren't, you know, behaving properly, who are sick. None of that. King of Pentacles upright, Empress upright. Money coming in, autonomy, you know, setting a good example. If you set a good example and someone else didn't follow it, that you can't be held responsible after a certain age. You can't be responsible. I don't go to school, Scorpio. I'm just saying, for everyone else listening, this is what they mean. So it's going to turn out fine because you're going to be fine. You know, there was a post I put up on Facebook. I'm tired. I'm going to remember what it said exactly. But it talked about being careful who you helped, because by helping, you could be disrupting their karmic lesson. And quite a few people jumped on that and said, well, you know, I just help. No one has to, you know, I just jump in. It's what I do. And it's like, if you're there to help, then that's the karma. And a few people wrote along those lines. And I said, well, the thing is that sometimes people have to bottom out before they can get better. Addicts, almost always. Sometimes people can't recover until they've hit rock bottom. And the more you bail them out, the longer it takes to hit rock bottom. So you are actually interfering with their karmic lesson. And also, if you're always enabling somebody, and that's what you gotta look at, is are you helping or are you enabling? And sometimes, and I see it in the reading room a lot, people who are struggling with their own addictions, their own ramifications of behavior, their own shitstorm of what's going on. But rather than focus on that, they're going to help this person over here. They're going to help this one, you know, and all their energy is going, and they want to talk about it in the reading. And I'm like, well, what about these cards over here that are directed at you, like the Tower reversed and this and this? It's like, well, I don't want to, no, I need to focus on this, my sister or my sister's husband or, my nephew. I'm like, not even under your roof. There's very little you can do about that. But under your roof, you've got this brewing, this dumpster fire here. And so a lot of times, rather than deal with your own problems, the idea that I'm going to fix other people, and I'm just too busy to handle this over here. I'll get to that eventually. And I'm saying, no, you're not helping anybody. In fact, you're kind of kidding yourself. And that doesn't mean you should never help anybody either. It's just stop for a minute before you jump in and say, A, did they ask? Did they even ask for help? 2, maybe can you stand back for a minute and see if they can handle it themselves? They might come about a whole new creative answer. You see someone drowning, of course you get them out of the water. But if they're not drowning, why don't you let them figure it out for a little bit? Let them puzzle through it. All right? Sagittarius. All right, Sag. Situation of the sun. That's usually triumph and good things coming. Success. How could that be crappy? Well, the 5 of Wands, which is conflict, stress, competition. So you're successful in what appears to be a very competitive field or situation. What you can't do about it? Oh man, the 4 of Cups. This is no time to get whiffy. Oh, do I want it? No. This is about focus, success, drive. You're running a race. Got to cross the line. Deadlines. This is meeting up your obligations here. In a competitive field where people are ready to go after what you have. The lesson behind this, the Queen of Wands, grace under pressure. Queen of Wands is a hard worker who has her priorities straight. She's friendly, she's nice, she's well liked, and people want to work with her. So despite competitive edge, despite the fact that you want to succeed, despite the deadlines, despite quotas, the Queen of Wands manages to have grace under pressure. Manages to hold it together and never look out of control. Never let them see you sweat. Never let them see that you're stressing it. And how's it going to turn out? It's going to turn out good. The 4 of Coins reversed. I think bonus when I see that. I see people sharing profits. Yeah. Looks good to me. Sag, I don't know what else to say about that. Just stay the course. It looks successful, but it looks like it's coming at a price. It's a lot to do. It's again, it looks to be not toxic. Now, I'm not saying a toxic environment, but a competitive, busy one. And and there's no time to daydream. There's no time to, it's one of those where you're working full out all day. There's no break. All right. Capricorn. Interesting. 2 people want 2 different things. A friendship that might be having a difference of opinion is the situation. 2 people want 2 different things. What you can do about it, the 8 of Wands, and that's move on it quickly, resolve it fast, nip it in the bud. I will say the way these look, okay, because the Lovers is what you can't do about it. This to me looks like you have a friend and the friend all of a sudden wants more. That's awkward and awful when someone says, my feelings of you have changed. My feelings of you have deepened. I feel romantically towards you. And it's like, don't string it along. Because you can't fall in love with someone that you don't feel. Now, you would think, well, Laura, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe they would fall in love. And I would say, yes, except that the next card, the lesson behind it, is the Knight of Cups reversed, saying, no matter how nice this person is, what a great friend this person is, how much you care for this person, you can't manufacture chemistry. You can't manufacture love. You can't. Person could be wonderful, and you might even say, oh my God, they'd be so good for me. But I don't think of you like that. I don't see you like that. I don't feel like that for you. That's always sad, you know, because it's like you have a really good life together, but you don't feel it. And Sex in the City, the Zazazoo, you don't feel it. How's it going to turn out? Ace of Wands reversed. Well, it's not as much fun as it used to be. It kind of guts the fun out of it a little bit here. Being honest and is now that person maybe is going to be hurt and back off a little bit. Again, there's no broken hearts here, and there's no lies, there's no deception. It's two people that want two different things. And the cards are saying, just don't beat around the bush. Don't give out false hope. Don't make someone think they have a chance if in fact you know, and you know, because you're Capricorn, you know what you know. And it's just, and obviously don't lead somebody on, you know. But it turns out is Ace of Wands reverse, which is just, it's not the stuff you used to do together, have fun together. You may not be doing that so much, and that stinks. So just, and if this doesn't apply to you, just be aware that you might have a secret admirer. You might have a friend that, you know, you don't look at them that way, so you don't think of them looking at you that way. You know, we've been friends for 20 years. It's weird how that happens. We've all experienced it. All of a sudden, you're looking at somebody different that you never saw like that. But I think in this case, it's Capricorn who's the object of affection, and saying either I don't have time or I don't feel like that for you, or both, really. All right, Aquarius. Aquarius, the situation is the Eight of Cups reversed. Not able to leave, walk away, not fully out the door, but the door is open and you're leaving. This in and out. Okay? So basically you're like a cat. In and out. What are you going to do? You in, you out, you in, you out. What you can do about it? Queen of Pentacles. Focus on work. Focus on making money. It's a very emotional card. The Eight of Cups reverse, very emotional. It's cups. And they're saying, yeah, focus on making money. Focus on work. What you can't do about it, Ace of Pentacles reverse. Well, you can't stop working. You can't stop living. You can't stop, everything else while you're trying to figure out what you're doing. Looks like home-wise, in or out. Where are you staying? Where are you living? What are you doing? You still got to go to work. You still got to pay bills. What's the lesson behind this? The Five of Swords. Be on guard. Be on guard. Even if you don't know what you're on guard for, be watchful. And I'm trying to figure out why this is with this idea of in or out, stay or go. Because the way it turns out, the Queen of Swords. And that's logic. And there's a couple different ways these cards could play out. One would be in and out, the emotional component of, do I leave job or do I stay at the job? And you're not going to leave unless you have another job lined up. That's the logic part of it. You also be wondering if you have a job, if your job is stable. Or maybe you're just tired of doing the job, but again, without another job that pays what you make, that's the problem. After a certain age, you're at a pay scale that you can't just start over again in a new job. Not easily, unless you win the lottery or something like that. It's very hard to go into a beginner position or an entry-level position, even do something you would love to do when you've been at the top of your field making, six figures or more, and then or a good salary, and then you're going to go back to making what a college grad makes. That's not so easy. It could be emotional and home, where leaving or staying is it's affecting the security of the home, the financial security of the home. It doesn't feel like there's anything to really be on guard about, and yet you're on guard. I don't know how that makes sense, but it's the Five of Swords. So it's this idea of you're prepared to stand and fight. What are you fighting for? I mean, it looks like you want to go. What are you fighting for? And yet you still got one foot in the door. You're still, I don't think you're done making your decision. How's that? It feels like there's still logic. And that could be the problem. And that's often a problem with Aquarius because they're an air sign and they do want to apply logic to emotional situations. Okay? That could be the issue here for Aquarius. You have a very emotional setting that you're trying to apply logic to. And I don't think it's something you can logic through. I think it's something you have to feel your way through. And Aquarius really hates that usually. They don't want to feel. They want logic and answers and cold hard facts and make a decision, stay or go. And there's more to it than that. There's all this nuance. Aquarius hates nuance. Don't forget, Saturn was once the ruler of Aquarius. Saturn, which is all about karma and lessons, and Aquarius is hard ass. They really are. They're a fixed sign. On top of that, they're fixed. So Aquarius can get into a rut very fast. Patterns of thinking. This is the way it has to be. This is the way it's always been done. You wouldn't think the revolutionary would be like that. But that's part of the strangeness that makes up Aquarius. They can be such stick in the muds. They can be just like a Capricorn, right? They can have that very narrow view, even as they're encouraging everyone else to make these big changes. It's just don't change me. And don't forget the shadow for Aquarius. Everyone's got their shadow, but it's hypocrisy. Do what I say, not as I do. And that's all part of this for Aquarius. So whatever you're trying to puzzle through, stay, go, leave, whether it's work related or emotional, it is all emotional. All right, as you're trying to figure it out. And it's not something that you're going to be able to rationalize. It's something that comes from the heart, not from the head. You always say think with your head, not your heart. But for Aquarius, in this situation, heart, not head. Pisces, the situation, the Nine of Wands reversed. Standing down from an aggressive situation. Okay. Just give me a sec. This all seems to be work-related, Pentacles and Wands. It could be also not being allowed to pass, not being allowed to progress, not being allowed to move forward, not being allowed to shine, not being allowed to, What can you do about it? The world. Well, you can make a big change. Okay? You can go a whole other direction. What you can't do about it, Three of Wands reversed. The cards are saying don't just because someone's saying you can't move forward, don't take that as the answer. You can't move forward here, you mean. Okay? You forget I can leave. It's interesting. This is work related, but in a bad relationship, it's like that too. When someone gets big balls and said, I forbid. Like, you forbid? Really? Okay. Not in my house. Okay. Bye. Not in your house. That's the kind of what I'm looking at here. That's sort of, oh, you think, okay, so I can't progress here in this job, in this place. I can leave. I can, and that's the challenge. What's the lesson? Page of Pentacles reversed. Man, Pisces do not tend to be materialistic, and they don't tend to value their time, and they waste time. And these cards are saying don't waste time. They're saying look at the worldliness, and that's the material stuff. That's earth sign stuff. You wouldn't see a Virgo start thinking about this. You wouldn't see a Capricorn. Oh, what should I do? They won't let me progress. Like, buddy, later. You know? When I get big enough, I'll buy this company. I'm going to fire your ass, okay? For not seeing how great I am and progress. Yeah, that's Capricorn big balls, you know? I'm out of here. I'm going to get successful, buy this company, and fire you. But anyway, the lesson really is it's all the bottom line. Work is about the bottom line. If someone's holding you back and not letting you move forward and putting, and this is the thing, it's always promises. Well, it's not in the budget now, but maybe next quarter, maybe next year, maybe we'll look. That happened right out of high school. I had a job like that. My job in high school, I was working at Brooks Pharmacy, and then again, senior in high school, and I was doing the work of the assistant manager. I was unofficially training as assistant manager. And my boss was great, and she was the manager of the shop, and it was a working wage, and I was back and forth, like, okay, I could, you know. And then I was graduating, and the big boss came in from corporate and was looking at me, and oh, look at you go. And they were paying me as a cashier, doing the work of an assistant manager, and was like, well, we can't put you in the training program now, but if you'll wait another 6 months to a year, maybe. And I'm like, 6 months to a year doing this work, you know, staying late. And my boss was like, Laura, I don't even expect you to. I said, yeah, it's good because I'm not going to, you know, get me behind the register. I'll do my job, and graduate high school, and off I went. Did me a favor. But again, don't let someone string you along with promises, because promises don't pay the rent. Promises don't put food on the table. You want to sign a contract saying it's going to happen, that's one thing. But promises, nah. How's it going to turn out? King of Wands reversed. Well, you're hardworking. King of Wands reversed is workaholic. I'm seeing you doubling down. Pisces, well, happy at home. I'm seeing you doubling down, but working harder and possibly changing jobs or changing your focus at the work. You know, like I didn't leave that job, but I did step away from those extra responsibilities. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing all that stuff anymore. I'm not unofficially training and doing the work of an assistant manager when I'm not being paid as an assistant manager. And that's what I'm seeing here for Pisces. This idea, like, you know, maybe it's time to start looking for another job, or maybe you stop doing. And listen, I'm all for going above and beyond. That's how you get promoted. Is you show that, yep, you're a team player. Someone's out sick, here I took care of that. There's a crisis, I handled it. This was a deadline, I brought it home, got it done. That's one thing when it's project based, but when it becomes an expectation that you will always bring work home, that you will always stay late, that you're always in early, that you never take a break, that you never take your lunch. That's not working, you know, smarter or harder. That's just working hard and not being appreciated. And believe me, no one's going to tell you to stop. No one's going to sit there and say to you, oh, you know, you just killing yourself. You know, you stop that. We're going to put other people on this job. No, they're going to be like, amazing. Look at you, shining star of our corporation. Hard. If only we can clone 10 more of you. You know, like, already doing the work of 10 people. You don't need to. Pisces, think about what you're doing. Work smarter, not harder. All right, guys, that's what's going on. One last time, please think twice before you speak. Watch Steve Judd's video, March 2020, his coronavirus, and his Mercury retrograde. They're right at the top. Go on his channel. Those 3 videos give you a great overview. But whatever you do in the month of March, this isn't the time to speak randomly or wildly. This is no time to get drunk and be out in public. This is no time to take any kind of chances that could impact your personal or your professional career. What the hell are the comments here? Okay, I have no idea what that's all about. Sorry, you really don't belong here. Anyways, thank you all. Good night, and we'll be talking again next week. All right. Thanks. Bye.